Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of my website development tutorial series. In this episode I'm going to be teaching you how to create a navigation bar and a button via CSS. Alright, so before we start I'm going to want to ask you to do two things. Firstly, subscribe so you can see more videos and it's easier for you and me. Okay, secondly, I'm going to want you to go to my website where there's actually more better tutorials with text tutorials, source codes, and also various other things like games, art, and info. If you want to contact me, my email is ashley@smashanimations.com. Just type to that email and I'll surely reply. Okay, so let's get back to where we were at. If you remember, we just finished our title and our wall, and we had our first submission within our wall, and it said, hello, this is a cool website, and it gave us, and we made sure we had an image in it within the image tags. Okay, so we're going to want to create our navigation bar first before we put our buttons in. So to do that, we're going to need to make a new div within the body tags, div, and the class is going to be nav, and then you close that off, and then close the div with a closing div tag. So then when you click on it, they both highlight. Okay, so you got that right now. So now you need to reference it up in your style within your two style tags. So you got dot nav, open, and close. So the position is going to be absolute, like so. And the top will be 75 pixels. The left is going to be exactly the same as the wall, so we have it identically in line. So left will be 280, like that. Make sure you close it off with semicolons each time. Okay, so that's the nav done. Now we need to make our buttons within our nav. So to make sure they're within the nav, we create a div inside the nav divs. So within these, you create a new div, and a new closing div, so then you have your new division. So now you need to also make sure that to get the image in and to make it work, you need to have the A tag, and that's a linking tag. So you'll be wanting it to link to a part of your website, for instance. So to do that, you need to go less than A, then we're going to call the class, which will be the name of the button. So we're going to have it as home btn, because it'll be our home button. Okay, so now next need to href it, which will be the hyperlink, and that's going to equal my website, because what we're on right now, .html, because what we're on right now is our homepage. So now you've done that, you need to go and call upon this class up in the style tags. So we're going to call upon it, home btn, open, close curly brackets. Okay, so we don't need to do the position because the position is already done within the navigation. All we need to do is to display the image within the style. So first of all, we need to make it display. Whoops. That. And then it's going to be a type block. Okay. And the next thing we need to do is call upon the background. But the difference between this is the background is the thing that will be actually calling the image. So URL, and then we're going to have the name of the image. Okay, so if you haven't already, make a button. If you want to know how to make a button, there'll be a tutorial link in the middle of the screen right now, so be sure to click on that. There'll also be a link in the description of how to make a website button. So now get back to where we're at. We have an off state and a hover state. The hover state is for when your mouse goes over it and it will change size. Okay, so, and the name of the button is home_btn.jpg. So home_btn.jpg. Okay, so now that calls upon my image. I then need to make it a no repeat. Oops. Like so, and then close that off with a semicolon. And finally we need to call upon the width, which will be 100, because that's the width of my button, and the height, sorry, which is 25 pixels tall. Okay, so now we've done that, it should display our image. So we're going to save this, and we're going to refresh the page. And there it is, but we have an error within the styles. So let's find if we're missing anything. What are we missing? Ah, there we go, I found it. I never closed off the A, so we need to close that off and close that off like so. So then within these A tags, you need to make sure that this has a closing A tag and an opening tag, but within the opening tag, you then have the class and the href. So now save that and it will display the image. Like so. So now you have your image, and also if you hover over it, you'll see in the bottom left hand corner that it has a hyperlink. Okay, so now to make the hover state, what you need to do is go back into it and make a new style, but it's going to be different. It's going to have exactly the same as this, so copy it, copy the home button style, and we're going to place it up here and put hover like this, and change the button to number 2, which is the bigger button of the home. So now when you hover over it, the image will get bigger. So let's check if that worked. There you go, the button gets bigger when you hover over it, but you can't really see the button, so we're going to give the whole page a background, and we're going to have it grey. So to do that, you need to go up to the top of your style, make some space, type body. You don't need to have the dot because it's already built into the HTML, and we're going to have it background, and we're going to have it grey, like so. You can have image backgrounds, but for now we're just going to make the background grey. So we're going to refresh, and there you go, there's your button. Now you do want to make it slicker, so add curves on your button, or however you like it. So now we've done that, we're going to add another button, which will be our info button. So it's as simple as just basically copying the code. So now we're going to copy these two bits of code, which is the home button hover, and we're going to paste it below it. We're just going to change the names, so we're going to go info, and info, and change this to info. Make sure these URLs are the name of your images, like so. Okay, so now you've done that, you can copy the div, which is here, and paste it here. Now because you have two, you now need to give styles to these divs and need to make them float to the left, so then they don't go over the other button. So to do that, you need to give it a style. Yeah, it's going to equal a float, and it's going to float to the left, like so. So then just copy this, and paste it in there. Whoops. There you go. Okay, so now you've done that, it should, you also need to make sure you change the class, so info, and save. Okay, so now it should work with no problems with two buttons, and they both change their looks when you hover over them. So let's refresh. There you go, there's your two buttons, and they both change. So essentially you've created a navigation bar. Okay, so thank you for watching this tutorial. Make sure to subscribe. In the next tutorial, we'll be creating new pages, for which when you click on the navigation, it will take you to those pages. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.